This morning we're leaving Kanab, Utah after our visit to Zion National Park yesterday, and today we're headed to Bryce Canyon National Park. But this isn't just a drive from point A to point B. This stretch of road is part of the experience. We'll be traveling north on US 89, one of the main scenic routes through southern Utah, before connecting with Utah Highway 12, which is often considered one of the most beautiful drives in the entire country. Along the way, we'll pass through wide open valleys, red rock cliffs, and some classic southern Utah scenery on our way toward Bryce Canyon. So come along with us as we hit the road from Kanab and start another incredible day on our Utah road trip. It was a chilly morning as we pulled out of Kanab around 8:30, the temperature sitting at 39 degrees. Bryce Canyon was showing 31 degrees when I checked, but by the time we get there, it's expected to warm up nicely. The forecast for the day is about as good as you can ask for, clear skies and highs in the 60s. So, even though it's a cold start to the morning, it looks like we've got a perfect day ahead for exploring Bryce Canyon. As we head north out of Kanab, we're traveling on US 89, a scenic route through southern Utah, and one we actually drove yesterday in the early morning darkness on our way to Zion National Park. But today, instead of turning west at Mount Carmel Junction toward Zion, we're continuing north on US 89. And this time we actually get to see what we missed yesterday. This stretch of road is filled with classic southern Utah scenery, red rock cliffs, desert mountains, and even some beautiful golden fall color along the way. After passing the junction with Route 9, the road that leads into Zion National Park, here in Mount Carmel Junction, we'll continue north through town on US 89. Mount Carmel Junction is a small stop, but it does have the basics, gas, food, and a few lodging options. And for those of you traveling in RVs, there's also an RV campground on the north end of town. I'd also point out that Mount Carmel Junction sits along the East Fork of the Virgin River, and that's what's bringing in all these trees. It's also the reason we're seeing so much of this beautiful fall color along this stretch of the road. Just up the road from Mount Carmel Junction is the town of Mount Carmel, Utah. And along with Mount Carmel Junction, these two separate and distinct communities serve as an eastern hub for exploring Zion National Park. Mount Carmel Junction sits right at the turnoff into Zion, while Mount Carmel itself is the older community with visitor services of its own. From there, we also pass through the towns of Orderville and Glendale. As we continue north from here, the road takes us into the mountains, and the scenery just keeps getting better. We're seeing more and more trees along the way, some showing off those beautiful golden fall colors. We're over 7,000 feet in elevation here in Utah, and still climbing up a bit as we continue to head toward Bryce Canyon. We're about 35 miles away right now, driving up Scenic Route 89 in Utah. As we reach the town of Hatch, Utah, we've climbed up onto another one of those high desert plateaus that are common in this part of the country. And now we're getting close to the turn onto Highway 12, which will take us toward Bryce Canyon. State Route 12 is a designated scenic byway and an all-American road. And even though we're only traveling a small portion of it today, we still get to experience some incredible scenery, including Red Canyon. It's definitely a route I'd like to come back and explore in its entirety on a future trip.
In about 14 miles, at the roundabout, take the first exit onto State Route 63.
Shortly after turning onto Route 12, we begin to climb into the mountains again and soon arrive at Red Canyon. This area is known for its bright red rock formations and hoodoos, similar to what you will see in Bryce Canyon, but on a smaller scale. This is Red Canyon. You're also going to notice the road passing through a couple of narrow rock tunnels, which makes this stretch especially memorable. Red Canyon is actually part of the Dixie National Forest and serves as a bit of a preview of what's waiting for us at Bryce Canyon just up the road. Soon we come to a traffic circle, which marks the turn onto Highway 63, the road that leads directly into Bryce Canyon National Park.
In 3.7 miles, arrive at Bryce Canyon National Park.
Just before the entrance to the park, we arrive at Bryce Canyon City. This is the main services area just outside of Bryce Canyon National Park, with hotels, restaurants, a general store, and gas, basically your last stop for anything you might need before heading into the park. It's also here where you'll find things like shuttle access during peak season, as well as a few shops and visitor services geared toward travelers coming to Bryce Canyon.
In half a mile, arrive at Bryce Canyon National Park. Arrive at Bryce Canyon National Park.
After entering the park and arriving at the entrance gate, we found it wasn't staffed due to the ongoing government shutdown, so we continued on into the park and made our way toward the Visitor Center to pick up a map and get a lay of the land before we started exploring Bryce Canyon. From there, we were back on the road to begin exploring the park. About a mile past the Visitor Center, we pulled into our first overlook, but as you'll see, the parking lot was completely full. This is usually one of the busiest spots in the park, so we decided to move on. The next overlook, which also looks out over the amphitheater area, was full as well. But finally, we found a spot at Bryce Point, one of the best overlooks for views of the Bryce Canyon Amphitheater. So, let's take a look at what you can see from here, along with a short walk around the overlook. It's a beautiful overlook and was a great first stop as we began to explore Bryce Canyon. After leaving the amphitheater, we continued deeper into the park and stopped at another overlook, this one with a short paved walkway. The views from here were incredible, and we took some time to walk out to the overlook at the end and take it all in. No, the bubble on the spin side. It's like a selfie. Called me mode. Because it's always looking at me. Then when I do this, now it's in front of us. Watch against the rock. And if I do this, back out on the road, we continued deeper into the park, heading toward the end of the 18-mile drive. Our destination was the final overlook. Sitting at over 9,000 feet in elevation, it's the highest point in Bryce Canyon National Park. After arriving, we parked and made our way up to the overlook to take in the views from this point. This is Rainbow Point, the highest overlook in Bryce Canyon, at over 9,000 feet in elevation. From here, you get a completely different perspective of the park, looking out over layers of colorful rock formations that stretch for miles. If you're up to a hike, it's also the starting point for the Bristlecone Loop Trail, where you can see some of the oldest trees in the park, ancient bristlecone pines that have been growing here for hundreds, even thousands of years. On the way back down toward the park entrance, we were treated to a completely different set of views. From here, you can see for miles distant landscapes, stretches of forest, and even areas that have been shaped by past wildfires. And along the way, we caught one more pop of fall color, a small stand of aspen trees at just the right elevation, still holding on to their golden leaves. After about a 30-minute drive, we made our way back to the park entrance. We exited into Bryce Canyon City and started looking for a place to eat. We found a place called Ruby's Canyon Diner that advertised fast food and decided to stop for a late lunch. We headed inside, ordered our food at the counter, found a spot to sit, and enjoyed a quick meal before heading back out for the afternoon. And that's where we'll wrap this one up. Next up, we're headed to one of the most scenic and least visited national parks in Utah, Capitol Reef National Park. We'll see you in that next video as the Utah road trip continues. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of this kind of video, like the video, share it with friends, and leave us a comment to let us know what you think. We invite you to join us on our website at findushere.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon. Meanwhile, check out this video next for more travel fun, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our new content. Your subscription is always free, helps us grow the channel, and is always greatly appreciated.